The title of this presentation is Why Values Matter. In fact, the purpose of the videos on the channel is to outline the values and abilities that support meaning and connection in our lives. What is needed for individuals to manage themselves and their relationships well, namely how each person should be and how their relationship should be. We are all on this journey in life. The values and abilities outlined in these videos are sourced from moral and developmental psychology, social and emotional learning, moral philosophy, and traditional wisdom found in spiritual texts. Spiritual texts are also included because they represent a long-standing shared values and practices that have fostered altruism, self-discipline, trust, and hope for generations. The key question in life is what values and skills and behaviors will bring us fulfillment and happiness and will be the most beneficial for ourselves and others. This knowledge can help us change how we interpret the world and change our behaviors. Answering this question can lead towards a realization of an ideal. The truth will set us free, but the truth can also lead us to happiness. A 2017 report shows that caring, freedom, generosity, honesty, health, income, and good governance are the main factors that support happiness. In order to succeed in our personal and professional endeavors, people need academic education, but we also need soft skills such as empathy, good communication, collaboration, self-discipline, and care for others. Technical skills may get us the job, but it are the soft skills that help us keep it and thrive. Moral education is also needed. This involves knowing what is right, desiring to do what is right, and doing it. We must learn to love the good and dislike the evil. Around the world, departments of education, mental health organization, social and emotional learning programs maintain that first fostering personal growth in values and social and emotional abilities are beneficial for mental health, personal success, and successful relationships. Many recognize the need to educate citizens that are self-aware, responsible, and loving. When human ideals and desires are fulfilled, happiness ensues. However, it is not that simple. We all have desires and aims. We all want something. And these are based on what we value, the ideals we are pursuing. However, ideals and desires can also be dysfunctional. This leads to unethical and non-productive outcomes, which can lead to unhappiness, to our unhappiness, and the unhappiness of those around us. The great contradiction of human beings is that we can be both good and unethical, effective and ineffective. The first step in being good and effective is getting our values and aims right. This is critical because pursuing the wrong ones, however much we believe they are right, can lead us to unhappiness. According to the World Health Organization, suicide is the second leading cause of death in 15 to 29-year-olds, and 1 in 5 adolescents have mental disorders. In Australia, 1 in 5 people experience anxiety, depression, substance abuse, and suicide accounts for 1/3 of all death among young people aged 15 to 24. This clearly points to a proactive health intervention. The treatment of mental health problems has moved over the last 2 decades to the prevention and promotion of mental health and positive personal development. Research and historical wisdom, human wisdom, points to 3 fundamental issues with respect to happiness and mental well-being. living consciously, knowing ourselves, living responsibly and lovingly. To underscore this, psychologists maintain that mental health and well-being are more than the absence of negative psychological states. This involves two core elements of psychological well-being: a life of meaning and purpose, and connection and belonging to others. Hence, a holistic approach is needed. A holistic approach to personal and social development is needed. This requires us to look at the whole, not just individual parts. For example, when counseling someone, it is necessary to understand the family dynamics that may be affecting the well-being of that individual. In this series, I'll be presenting the 12 pillars of meaning and connection framework, and these are made up of 3 life goals: managing ourselves, our relationships with others, and contributing positively to society and our environments. The 3 moral and psychological domains of reasoning, emotions, and behavior. The 3 teaching and learning domains of learning, well-being, and service. And finally, the 3 global citizen mindsets and practices of shared universal values, interdependence, and mutual prosperity. The first pillar is managing ourselves well. This allows us to mature in our capacity to live meaningful and loving lives, to be successful and self-actualized individuals. A self-actualized person knows their value, their purpose and meaning, and actualizes these in their lives and in their relationships. Being self-actualized relies on having a moral identity, following through on our commitments, being emotionally intelligent, having self-esteem, being resilient, having self-control, being engaged, achieving, empowered, persistent, and organized. The second is managing our relationships well, which involves achieving competence and satisfaction in personal relationships, finding love. This is achieved by creating mature and loving relationships, connection and belonging in the family, as parents, as children, as siblings, and with others in society. This allows us to make valuable contributions through our relationships. The third is managing our relationship with our physical and natural environments sustainably. This involves contributing positively to our environments, which includes our home, our neighborhood, and our natural world. This involves a connection to our environments. This also requires us to use our talents and to make an enduring contributions in society. We all want to make a lasting contribution with our lives. The 3 moral and psychological domains of integrity, heart, and character. These underpin the 3 life goals. These involve reasoning, emotion, and behavior, labeled as integrity, heart, and character in the 12 pillars model. Integrity is the label used to represent the values and abilities associated with reasoning, heart for emotion, and character for behaviors. These domains provide the direction of our lives take. Historically and philosophically, these domains were referred to as intellect, emotion, and will, which pursue truth, beauty, and goodness. Science pursues truth, the arts, beauty, and religion, goodness. Philosophical disciplines that study the domains are logic, aesthetics, and ethics. The 3 teaching and learning domains are learning, well-being, and service. A holistic education needs to foster intellectual and moral abilities, emotional abilities that underpin well-being, and public service that support the common good. Intellectual development is not enough. We must learn to reason morally. One can be intelligent yet immoral. Well-being is underpinned by values and social and emotional abilities and our relationship with others. As humans, we rely on our connection and socialization with each other to develop. Putting our values into practice reinforces these values. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "When you cease to make a contribution, you begin to die." Also, our sense of self-worth also comes from our service to others. The three global citizen mindsets and practices that are needed in our global village are shared universal values and putting into practice interdependence and mutual prosperity. We need shared universal values that transcend self-interest, whether these be national, religious, or racial. We also need to understand our interdependence as human beings. Our interconnectedness to our human community and our natural environment is necessary. We need a mindset that recognizes our mutual prosperity locally, nationally, and internationally. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions or any concerns, please email me at johnb@cybervalues.org. And once again, thank you for listening.